Welcome to Brunettes Who Bitch, where the sports are hot, the takes are hotter, and we don't hold back because life's too short to sugarcoat anything. Welcome back to Brunettes Who Bitch, where the sports are serious, but we definitely aren't. Today, we're going to be running it back with a recurring segment that we like to call Headline Hustle, where we give our rapid-fire rundown of the latest headlines in sports.
Yay! The biggest headlines have literally been related to all of the free agency signings, which is boo, because I don't love where some of these players are ending up and some of these trades that are happening. But
yeah. And also, Wilmington started today too, and a major headline happened a couple hours ago.
I missed this.
I'm not a big tennis person, and I don't really fully understand it. But do we all know Coco Gauff?
Yes.
I feel like
she
if
lost
I
already.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh my god!
He lost in the first round to Diana. I am so sorry. I'm gonna butcher this name because I suck at names. Yastremska? Yeah, lost in the first round.
That's crazy.
There's that one.
Oh my goodness.
Because I got that notification earlier today and I was like, we have to mention this because everyone, Coco Gauff was the it girl in tennis, kind of like how a young Serena Williams was. And
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
The headline literally says, after nightmare draw. That's literally how it was labeled.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane. I'm looking at the headlines right now, and it's most of them, like I said on mine, are all hockey related.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Rangers had a headline recently that I'm not too
Is it about
Miller?
DeAndre Miller?
DeAndre Miller trade
to Pittsburgh?
He went to the Canes.
The Canes.
Oh
For
shit.
Scott Morrow, a conditional first round and a second round pick.
Who went to Pittsburgh then?
I'm not too mad about that trade though.
They traded away Alex Nedeljkov. No, that's not how you say that. I don't know how the hell you say that.
Yeah, you can't pronounce names properly. I cannot pronounce names properly at all.
I'm gonna guess it's like Nedeljkovic or something like that. He went to San Jose.
Okay.
I'm trying to see what else has happened in the last little bit here. I know that obviously everybody knows that Mitch Marner went to Vegas. Yeah. Which is crazy work.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just heard her Canadian accent come out. Vegas? Vegas. How do you say it?
Vegas?
I don't know. You said it so strange. I was like, uh-oh. There's the accent.
He went to Vegas.
I can definitely hear it every now and then. She'll be like,
just a little twang. It was cute. Cute.
Like, there's that little twinge.
That was the first time
you guys,
I heard it.
Truly, especially Sam and Ashley, the New York accent is so strong. You guys, I hear things you guys say, and I'm like, whoa. Holy.
Yeah, no, my accent's confused, though. I say y'all, and then I say, there's people who are like, oh, coffee. I'm like, no, coffee.
Yeah. I feel like you have, more...
It's half New York, half not New York.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Ashley's very Staten Island, New York.
100%. Whenever I'm in the same room as her and she's talking, I will find myself picking up on her accent and just being repeating it the same way that she said it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't speak like that.
Yeah, no.
I find that when I go to my best friend's house, because she lives in Michigan, right? But there's still a slight difference in the way that we speak compared to Michigan. And when I've been there for the weekend or whatever, I'll catch that slight American I'm oh, I don't usually say things that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I thank my family in South Carolina, I think, for giving me some sort of an accent to a point where I say y'all. And that was the hook, line, and sinker of my fiance, by the way. I said y'all and he was like, what? Swear to God.
I love that.
You said y'all, and he was looking for wedding rings on the spot.
It was the typical New York City type of meetup where we literally met in a pizzeria before a bar.
I love that.
Yeah. That's a rom-com right there.
And then I just said y'all. So it was what? That makes no sense.
That's actually crazy. I was going to say another hockey headline. I don't know if you guys saw. Did you guys see that Pietrangelo is stepping back from hockey?
What?
No. Wait, I did. But I was
so apparently he's got some like serious health issues going on.
yeah.
He's been advised to remove the intensity of hockey to see if his body can improve so he can return to a normal quality of life. The likelihood is low that he will recover to the standard required to play, but he knows it's the right decision.
Yeah. That's like me
I
with
was like,
Tua.
that's crazy.
That's my mentality towards Tua, the Miami Dolphins quarterback. He had such bad concussions that we mentioned like in previous episodes. I think it was I forgot what episode it was, but we were talking about Tua and how he just made the decision to come back after 2 concussions, one an extreme concussion where like your fingers go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back that season. The next season he got a concussion. I think he had like 5 concussions in like 3 seasons. So that's another person where I'm like, please step back, focus on your health. I understand football is probably your entire life, but you won't have a life.
I just read a little further to see if it said like in the article what he's dealing with, and he's dealing with hips that require bilateral femur reconstruction.
That's crazy.
Ow.
Yeah, right? Like, geez. So, like, he was supposed to play, he's from Canada, so he was supposed to play in the Four Nations for Team Canada, and then it, like, came out that, he had stepped back and wasn't, and no one really knew why. And they said, I'm reading it, it says he took a break in February. The hope was to give him treatment and rest to help provide relief. Instead, they found diminished positive results and process is no longer sustainable moving forward. So he literally is like, yep, I cannot do this anymore because my both femurs have to be reconstructed.
That sucks.
That's insane.
But that's like the downside of hockey. Hockey, they're playing on broken ankles. They're playing on like dislocated shoulders. Like they're playing with concussions.
Matthew Tkachuk played with a broken sternum last year, and he played with a broken something else this year.
That is the hardest bone to break, by the way. Besides, what's the long bone in your thigh? Is that your tibia, or that's your femur?
It's your femur.
That's your femur. Okay, I get
your femur is the hardest bone in your body to break.
So it's like that one. Like your sternum is the hardest bone in the body. That's what it is. The sternum's the hardest bone in the body. The hardest one to break is the femur. Yeah. So like, imagine playing with those. Like, how would you breathe? Like, this is by your lungs.
So this happened last year, and Matthew Tkachuk, literally, his brother had to help him out of bed. Like, his dad and his brother. I remember reading the article. And then they had to help him get dressed. His teammates had to tie his skates for him. And one of them had to put his jersey on because he couldn't do it. But he still played hockey and managed to win the cup.
Like, literally, hockey players are a different breed.
Yeah, like, y'all are, I can't imagine.
I forget what he had this year. I know he had something else that was broken this year. Let's see if...
Didn't he have, like, I feel like it was something in his wrist or something like that, wasn't it? I might be reading something else. I don't know.
Let's see. Matthew Tkachuk. Injury. Adductor muscle was torn from the bone.
Oh!
I'll pretend I know what that means.
It's your groin.
That's in the groin?
Like in the groin area. Right? It's ADD?
Yeah, adductor. Yeah.
That's your groin area.
Oh my god. Somebody else had something. Was it Barkov that was hurt? One of them also had like a broken something, and I was like, I could never. Like, I stubbed my toe and I'm crying. Like,
yeah. No. I get a paper cut and I'm like, oh, I gotta go home. Literally.
I break a nail and I cry. Like, and that's like the most girly. That's like the most girly thing about me. I care about my nails. If I break a nail, my entire day and my entire week until I get it fixed is ruined.
I felt that. I am the same way. Also, just saw that. Sorry, Ashley. The Blue Jays absolutely ripped ass over the Yankees today. So yeah,
and it's like, but it's funny though because it's like all the New York teams are doing so shitty now.
They literally won 12-5. Look at that.
I can't even say like, oh my god, that's so bad because the Mets literally lost to a 30-4 game within a 3-game span to Pittsburgh. So,
oh my god. You know what? I haven't kept up with how the Blue Jays are doing. I don't usually follow them. I usually pay attention to the Tigers, but I think it's great. The headline was something about because it's Canada Day, so for the Blue Jays
Canada. That's the only thing I know about the national anthem.
Very patriotic of them.
Yeah, it was very patriotic of them.
They said, we're gonna win.
I'm proud of them. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. Brock Besser returned to the Canucks too. That's a big headline.
So many people were expecting him to not. And so, like, I all morning have been, like, scrolling through Twitter and TikTok and people being like, how I feel knowing that today is the last day Besser will be a Canuck. And then, like, I'll look at the comments and people will be like, I take it back. And I'm like, yeah.
Is your boy still good?
Yeah, he got the qualifying offer.
Ooh, you can breathe now. Look at you.
They were so like qualifying offers had to be in by like 5 o'clock yesterday, and the Devils literally tweeted at like 4:45, like, "Oh, we've extended a qualifying offer to Luke Hughes and Cody Glass," and I was like, "As you should." And then I think Friedman tweeted that they extended the qualifying offer because they heard how much interest there was from other teams in Cody, and they weren't going to be able to sign him if they didn't.
They were like. I don't think they were expecting him to have, like, so many teams have an interest in him. And so they were like, oh, yeah, we'll just wait for him to hit free agency and then send him a lower offer. And then, like, everyone else was like, nah, like, we're going to send him an offer too. Then Fitzgerald was like, oh, shit. Like, these guys actually want this guy. Oh, no. So I'm not going to let that happen.
But it's funny
literally, like, I was sitting across from my coworker and I had to try and remain, like, the most normal person ever. So I was like, oh my god! But in my head, I was like, But anyways.
But it was funny because we were so nervous for you because we said the last episode that you're going to be anxious from July 1 all the way to September. They're going to be toying with your emotions. But look at that. One day, not even a full day. Done. Secured.
Yeah.
I just
you got so poetic the Rangers got one of our people though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, Justin Dowling, you traitorous motherfucker.
He went and signed with the Rangers.
See, like I said, I don't really keep up with hockey like that as much, besides like the little like trade and stuff like that. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, I just don't have hope for the Rangers because I don't know much about, let's say, this new coach, like what he has to offer. When it comes to, like, a new coaching, like head coach change, it's really gonna be like the first 5 to 10 games of the season is going to be like a make or break situation. Yeah. Like, it's really going to dictate how the team is blending with the new coaching style. So I
feel like that's kind of how the Devils were with Keefe this year. Like, everyone wasn't sure if, like, it was Toronto or Keefe that was, like, preventing the Maple Leafs from getting past the first round. And I was like,
I mean, coaching has a big effect on it. I feel like a lot of people don't understand this. Like, it's not the players. Like, the players have to play to a certain level of which the coach expects. And of course, the coach is making the play calls. So if the coach is making a poor play call, there's nothing that you can do about it. You can try to omit that and do your own shit, but then you're going to have other people who are with the coach being like, what are you doing? Why aren't you following? Then it causes a rift and it's a domino effect.
Yeah. Exactly, for sure.
But then I had this like a transition towards like basketball now because we're talking about like trades because the NBA is also in their trade process at the moment.
Yeah,
and the Bucks waived Damian Lillard.
I saw that.
They didn't.
Yeah,
you're joking.
Yeah, the Bucks waived Damian Lillard to make room for Miles Turner.
That's crazy. And
apparently he also tore
the NBA free agency thing too.
He also tore his Achilles this year too. Like, he's the third person in the NBA to tear his Achilles this season.
Damn.
I think. So
my god, that's a lot.
So that's not normal. But then also someone on the Mets, Canning, our freaking starting pitcher, tore his Achilles the other day.
The Raptors extended one of their players. Hell yeah. That's good.
So I want to know why
Schroeder.
I just want to know why, like, the Achilles injury is becoming so popular.
The Kings traded Jonas Valanciunas to Denver Nuggets for Dario Saric. That's a choice. Wow. Oh, Shea re-signed with OKC too. That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm reading their little like markup of like everything that's happened. Gary Trent Jr. re-signed. I love that guy. I'm mad that he went to Milwaukee because I don't like Milwaukee, but
I feel like Milwaukee's in like the most random place ever. It's just like I forget they have teams sometimes, but
it's
I'm like,
literally the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Yeah, I know. But
and like, so we had Gary Trent Jr. on the Raptors for a while, and when we got him, he was literally like one of my favorite players because he was one of the like more like low key guys. Like people didn't really know who he was, but 97% of the time he was a consistent player. So I was always like, I like this guy. Like he's good. He can make a bucket. You know, you don't have to worry. He's got good basketball IQ, the whole 9 yards. And then they said, yeah, we're sending him to Milwaukee. And I was like, I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? You guys let go of Kyle. You let go of Freddie. You let go of Kawhi. And now you're letting Gary go too? What the hell?
Not Kawhi. Forgot that guy. Yeah. He was like a stroke, low key. Forgot about that guy.
That guy left. Like, we won a championship, and then he was like, see ya.
But if we're staying on the topic of basketball, Caitlin Clark obviously is back in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But, she actually was shockingly receiving low votes. So one of the headlines I saw was like, why did Caitlin Clark receive low All-Star votes from her WNBA peers? And
because they hate her?
No. It's because of the dramatics surrounding her. Basically, the fight that happened with Sophie Cunningham getting involved. Her
none of that's her fault though.
Correct, but the quote unquote her taunting that one time. I forgot that it was like one of the first 2 games of the season where she gives like a thumbs up because someone was talking shit. It was like one of those games. Basically, because it's
okay. So they're mad because she's stopped letting people walk all over her.
Just saying.
Interesting.
That makes
why do we have a problem with women sticking up for themselves?
So hypocritical.
But it's like, this is why the WNBA gets a bad rep, because you say like women are too emotional, but you're giving her low votes because of the dramatics surrounding her. This girl, like, you have Draymond Green crying, you have LeBron James flopping, like, and LeBron James obviously crying on the floor because he's going like this, like fucking his eyes peeking through when he's on the floor trying to get attention, like.
Yeah.
He's literally a child. That man needs to retire.
Yeah, no, definitely. Please retire. He's not going to retire anytime soon, I feel. I feel like once his last kid goes to college, he might. Well,
he needs to retire now. He drives me nuts.
I know. But another
and Steph Curry, please.
See, I don't have a problem with Steph Curry. I don't. But like in recent years, his family kind of rubbed me the wrong way in a certain sense.
Steph Curry, I just find he's got good basketball IQ. Like, yeah, he's talented, but he really is like cocky about it, and I don't like that attitude.
Fair enough.
So he drives me kind of.
I mean, this kid makes insane shots from like full court. I would be cocky too if I was him.
It still makes me want to smash him.
But then staying on the WNBA All-Star game, we have 2 starters from the Liberty. It's Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. Love them both. But then Paige Beckers, only rookie to enter the All-Star game.
Good job, girl!
I love my girl Paige. I love her so much.
That's awesome. We love to see it.
But yeah, I think...
I see our little mascot wandering around back there.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of them.
Yeah, he's making a mess. So if anyone's actually watching this pod, my apartment's not always like this. It's what happened. You get a puppy and you worked and you come home, and so those bins usually stay in our bedroom because they're just full of like extra clothes because we don't have like a lot of room. So we have to move these bins out here because we have to put his cage in the bedroom. He does not like to sleep away from us. So like the first night we kept him out here. We left the door open, like no problem. And he was shrieking, he was whatever. So I laid on the floor with him. That way. Then we were like, I wonder if we move the cage inside to the bedroom, like what would happen? He fell asleep through the entire night in the cage.
Poor baby.
So we have to transition the cage back and forth. So the bins just have been staying out here for the last couple of weeks until we figure out what to do with them.
Poor baby.
So I promise I'm a clean person. My kitchen's out clean though. I will say that.
The kitchen's clean. That's what matters.
Yes. Anywho. But what other headlines we got going on here?
I didn't really see a whole lot else. Like I said, most of my stuff was like hockey related, which we kind of covered like the big ones. And then, I was happy that the Jays won. That's the other one that's big on Sportsnet right now. But Springer hit a grand slam. Good for him.
I'm not really impressed in a grand slam situation unless it's like playoffs or it's like the game is tied and it's the 9th inning and
I'm just happy because it happened on Canada Day. They wore red, like
Valid.
they wore red jerseys today
Oh, it's valid. I love that.
and stuff. So pop off,
Love that.
guys.
But then, so I just thought it was like a football headline because football apparently is next month. Whoop-de freaking
Already?
do. Yeah, they have spring training or summer camp, whatever the fuck.
Oh my
it is.
gosh, I forgot.
It's July, guys. It's literally July 1st.
You know what? Like, I can't keep track of time. For it to be July already is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's July 1st, everybody. So, like, I'm getting the football
Well, when it
headlines.
comes out, this will be July 2nd, or July what?
Whatever.
Well, this is coming out next week, so it'll be the 9th.
Oh, I thought this was tomorrow's episode.
I'm like, that's too much effort for me.
I thought this was tomorrow's episode, and then the one we recorded Sunday was going to be next week's episode.
Whichever. I don't care. But regardless of the fact, we're recording this on July 1st, so I can't fucking believe it's already July, number one.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Jets posted that, we play football next month, I'm like, shit. And now
That's
all the football
crazy.
headlines are coming out.
I was going to say football's going to start rolling.
The first headline I saw is Darren Walker, a former Giants tight end, is coming out of retirement, literally pulling a Tom Brady, and joins the Dolphins.
If you retire, just stay in retirement.
Yeah. I don't get athletes from like retiring and then being like, you know what? Yeah, I want to come back.
Just stay retired.
Literally pull the Tom Brady.
That's like my dad is convinced that Patrice Bergeron is going to come out of retirement for like at least a year. And I'm like, he's not, but like, I appreciate your optimism.
But wait, not even that. He's been retired for almost 2 seasons. He retired in 2023.
Yeah. I'm like, give it up.
That's crazy work.
But like,
he's like, he's this strong guy. Like when he was waving the flag, his arms were huge, and like that means absolutely nothing, my guy. But
I will say, it does say that he retired for a health-related issue, and it's not telling us what the health-related issue is. So there's that. So it could be one of those things.
Like he needed a break to try and heal, and now he's healed, so he can come back. Okay,
pretty much.
It could be like really one of those things. I don't know if I'd call that like a retirement then. Like I feel like I'd call that just like a break.
Like a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a sabbatical.
A hiatus. I'm familiar with those. I remember when One Direction was going to go on one of those.
Oh,
they're still on one of those.
I can never.
18 months. And that was 6 years ago almost.
But this is the household that we live in.
Wait. No, 10 years ago.
There would be a dog toy. There were the Jets in there. Oh my gosh.
Yes, there would be. But, okay, so little backstory on him. He retired in June of last year, it says, or last June, after 8 NFL seasons. He's back in the league after 1 year hiatus, so not 2 seasons. I retract that statement, okay? His deal is worth up to $5 million for a 1-year contract with the Dolphins. And the Giants, I believe, are giving up a conditional 2027 7th-round pick, but are receiving a 2026 6th-round pick. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, so you basically got nothing and you're giving nothing.
So what was the point?
I think just because this guy wanted to come back. He's 33 years old. For football, that's not old because you have to. How old is Jason Kelce, by the way? Because Jason Kelce looks old. But
guys,
I love him.
Speaking of the Kelce's, I saw the funniest commercial.
Oh, he's 37
today.
Oh yeah.
I saw the funniest commercial today. So Kylie Kelce is in the commercial for the new Toyota van, and it's funny as hell. Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it.
No, but I do.
I'll have to send it.
Though.
I'll have to send it to you because it's funny as hell. She like, I don't even know how to like explain it, but it's a really funny commercial, and I thought it was great.
No, but if you guys listen to her podcast,
I haven't
listened to it yet. No,
but not anything recent.
I highly recommend it. She's that like non-conventional mom doing a podcast right now. Like it sounds like she was just brought into it just because of her husband and all that stuff, and she like makes it known, like she makes jokes about it, all that stuff. But she talks about like real life shit too, and I really love that about her. Yeah. But she also doesn't fucking sugarcoat shit.
I love that she doesn't sugarcoat shit. She never does.
Yeah, no. you know,
I also
absolutely
love her and Jason. Like, they are just like the cutest like couple ever. Like, I love seeing them like together. It's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't believe they still met on Tinder.
I know, that's crazy.
That's still so crazy to me.
That's
like-
so crazy.
Like an NFL player just casually just on Tinder. Well, this is back in college, I think they met.
Yeah, so
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. But even
But
then,
still,
I'm like,
oh my goodness.
but
Crazy,
yeah, no,
crazy.
I was actually cracking up.
Oh man.
Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see, what else do we got here? Because I had a couple of written down, but I'm like, from what we're talking about, I'm like, these aren't legit headlines. These are just the sugarcoating stuff.
Right? Like, give us the jaw-dropping stuff.
Like, a lot of like headlines that were like jaw dropping was today. Like, when I talked about
yeah.
Coco dropping, my jaw actually dropped. I said, I can't believe she freaking lost. Because she was projected, like, she was like the top seed. Like, she was projected to once again go to the last round.
That's crazy that she lost. Wow. Like, actually crazy.
Yeah, no, a lot of the things that I've seen today have just been a bunch of free agency, a bunch of contract extensions.
Yeah, it's
like,
all been hockey.
Like Brad Marchand signed a 6-year deal.
Did he? Did he finally? He did sign it?
Was it? Yeah, it was 60 years with the Panthers. And I was like, the fuck? Everyone was totally convinced that he was just gonna like sign back with the Bruins.
Like he was a rental?
And I'm like, yeah. I was like, personally,
I
would not be
wouldn't.
doing that. I
wouldn't.
Like,
they traded you away after you think you're going to be a lifelong player.
Yeah,
In one,
I'd be like,
in one city at one team. I'd be like, fuck out of here, bye.
Yeah, like I don't think I would, stay with the Panthers, but I definitely wouldn't be going back to Boston. I'd be like,
No.
fuck you guys. Like, first of all, you traded me
out of
for
there
a
so
fucking
fast.
draft pick. Like,
Well,
speaking of like trading for things, okay, one of the things that I have to ask is, what the fuck is the point of trading for future considerations? Like,
That's a good question.
Are you trading for a handful of rocks? Because that's what it feels like. That's distinctly what it feels like when I read, like, so-and-so has been traded to this team for future considerations. And I'm like, that is actually absolutely nothing.
I'm sorry. I mean,
I feel like it's like
something. It depends on, I think, the value of the trade, because whatever value they trade is the value they get in return.
Yeah.
I think. And that's how it works. But yeah, no. It's like, oh, I don't know what I want yet, so I can't tell you. So we're just gonna put future considerations.
I Googled it real quick, and what this says is like
basically to receive value in return, but at a later date.
It's basically, yeah, like it means that at another point in time they'll complete the deal by sending either a player pick or a multiple of either. Mm-hmm. So they use the like case of like the Senators when they sent Zaitsev, whatever the fuck that is, to the Blackhawks. Because they can't trade a player or draft picks for cash alone, so they'll wait for a player or a pick to go back the other way. Similar in the MLB, similar in the NBA type thing.
Yeah, every professional league has it. It just...
That's crazy. Yeah. But that's actually, I never really thought about that. I've always like seen it and I've been like, okay.
But so like I was just also scrolling, and I think my phone heard us because we mentioned LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James basically opted into his $52.6 million player option for the upcoming season with the Lakers, but he did that so it's Luka's team now, because he is eligible for a 4-year, $229 million contract extension.
Retire!
How the fuck old is LeBron? He has to be like 40 something.
He's got to be old by now. Like 40 at least.
No, he's 40 on the dot, turning 41 on December 30th this year.
Retire!
It gets to a point where you're like...
That is what I'm going to bitch about today. Retire.
You're going to land on your foot wrong, and it is going to snap and crackle and pop. and
Literally,
like
you gonna look like a Rice Krispie.
Yeah.
Look, my laptop agrees. It said thumbs up.
Like, I just imagine, like, these older players landing, and then, like, their bone inside just, like, crumbles. And it's like,
Yep.
you gotta be getting up there. Like,
right?
regular people, yeah, sure, like, healthy as a horse at their age. But, like, putting that much physical, like, strain on your body for so long, bitch, take a break.
Literally, retire.
Literally, I played college for 4 years, and the strain on my body after those 4 years, I cannot picture myself going any further. I'm sorry.
Mood.
I'm sorry.
I stopped playing after high school. I was like, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Like,
no, thank you.
It's way harder. Oh boy, excuse me. I'm tired. It's way harder on your body than you realize. Uh-oh, we're starting a yawn train here.
I'm fighting the yawn because I'm not trying to do a domino chain of a yawn right now.
No, we just had one, so.
Guys, stop it.
My bad,
forcing it down.
It's clearly my bedtime. Oh.
Yeah, no. Oh, whoa! So it's actually kind of funny because I'm looking at different headlines, like, once again. It says Achilles injuries have vexed the NBA. A Hall of Famer reflects on medical pros analyze. So I'm literally sitting, I'm like, I just said Achilles injuries are so fucking common now when they shouldn't be.
My brother and I were talking about that today too. He was talking about how, like, so many people have snapped their Achilles this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's literally crazy how many, like, players have done it.
Such a crazy statistic, too. Be like,
yeah.
Yeah, so,
For
like,
sure.
why all, so this is literally an ESPN article. Why is the Achilles injuries in the NBA? Wait, why all the, I don't like this headline at all. Like, who the fuck wrote this? Why all the Achilles injuries in the NBA this season? Okay, so you lack grammar, I feel, or professionalism.
I feel like that's what they were trying to say, but, like, that's not really how you would phrase a question for an article name, I guess.
No. So it's like they become all too familiar, yada yada yada. So Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Tyrese, I'm sorry, once again.
Halliburton.
Yes, that's the name. Then we have two other players, Isaiah Jackson, James Wiseman. Like, it, holy shit. Then we have the guy in New Orleans. Then we have a guy on the Heat. There's more people than I thought.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
So it basically says, compared to today's calf injuries to the kind of hamstring strains seen 5 to 10 years ago, and pointed out that as athletes have prioritized upper leg strength, their lower legs need to have the strength to keep up, which makes sense because if you look at the way some of these guys train,
their thighs are this big and their lower legs are this big.
They squat more than they would do like a calf raise or anything lower mobility wise. So, like,
for sure,
you can do like ankle agility movements. They're not training shit like that at all. Like, it's very minimal. No. Very minimal because also some people have ankle injuries, so it's very difficult to do said stuff.
Exactly.
And the older you get, the more brittle you become.
LeBron.
Yeah, I just...
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, no. I just think that's actually, like, crazy.
My dog is wandering around somewhere, and I'm not really sure where right now. I can just hear her little, like, claws tippy-tapping, and I'm like, what you doing?
Right.
Where are you going?
So, another headline. Proud of our girl, Dawn Stanley. If you don't know her, she is the head coach of South Carolina, the Gamecocks, who are legendary. She has, like, one of the highest contracts in college basketball coaching.
Okay.
She actually is interviewing for the Knicks head coach.
Shit. That's impressive.
I know, that's right. Let's go.
She's not considered a finalist, though, but she is set for a second interview.
Let's go. That's right.
Which I am surprised because with her success in college athletics, I'm very surprised that she's considering it, especially with the contract she has with South Carolina right now.
Yeah.
But the Knicks have to be telling her something, like feeding her either a lot of information or a lot of fucking bullshit.
Probably, yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
I'm not yawning. I'm not yawning. I'm not yawning.
Oh, I am.
I'm literally like trying to fight it right now. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I always get tired after dinner, so it's probably just from that. I'll bounce back in 20 minutes, but
Oh, yeah.
good times.
Yep.
I feel like those are
do
like the big
we-
headlines.
I was gonna say, do we have any other headlines that come to mind?
I don't think so. Because most of what I've seen has been like hockey related.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like when I opened the Sportsnet app, the like Jays beating the Yankees today was the other one, but that's really about it. There hasn't been a huge
Well,
thing going on.
Since we don't really talk about like this side of the sports world often, it's motorsports. I do want to give recognition to a 16-year-old who got killed in an event a few days ago.
Oh no.
He was 16. Aiden Zing, sorry if I say that wrong, mid-race crash on a dirt track in California, about 300 miles north of LA. They're trying to figure out what caused it, how it caused it, and all the videos that are like circulating on social media, people are saying that, oh, there's too many motorbikes on one track. Because if you look at the beginning, they all clutter into one, kind of like how track and field is. If you see the race start, they clutter into one.
Kind of like,
so think of that with motorbikes. They're doing that, but it's like 10 times more.
Oh my gosh.
That sucks.
Yeah. So he was the only one involved. They're still trying to get answers. And there's like 2 riders that witnessed him fall, but some people said he didn't move at all. Other people saying that he got up, was moving to his bike. And since they're going to like this like track goes like into the mountains or like into like deserted areas where no one's there.
Yeah.
It's like word of mouth at this point. They're trying to figure out what the fuck happened. How did it happen? Because this guy was apparently a rising star. So he's not going to make like a silly mistake if he's considered a rising star.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it's very, very upsetting. There's like a theory of like negligence, whether it be like of his bike, of his gear, of the track not being upkept. Would it be of another another motorist, maybe trying to stop him and accidentally injured him in the process? Like, there's a lot of shit that they're trying to figure out. So I just wanted to put that out there to pay respect to him and his family, because that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, geez, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all over my TikTok this morning, and I left that for last when it comes to like the headlines. Yeah. So I didn't want it to be like a downer of an episode. Just like
but that's definitely something that needs to be talked about. Like,
right, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but
that's
like
rough. Jeez.
We don't speak of like motocross sports often because that's like something that we don't see on TV all the time. And
my brother was watching the F1 race the other day, and I was like, "What is this? What are we doing?" So,
I mean,
apparently, it's a thumbs up.
Matt's grandma watches it, and she gets really into it.
It was just really random. Like, for like us, NASCAR was a thing. Like, we always had NASCAR on during the summer and like watching those races and everything. But for F1 to be on my TV was something really random.
Yeah,
he was like, "Let's watch it." I was like, "Okay."
See, it's kind of embarrassing for me because whenever somebody like mentions F1, the first thing I think about is the Cars movies.
Yeah.
When they like go across the country and they're
yeah.
I'm like, that's what I think is happening during F1. If I'm wrong,
valid.
When I think of NASCAR, I think of Herbie Fully Loaded with Lindsay
Lohan.
Yeah.
I watched the movie with Lindsay Lohan religiously. I did watch it less than a year ago too. I was like,
I've always
watch this.
I've always wanted like my own Herbie. I always wanted one, and my dad was like, "You don't want a Volkswagen Beetle." I go, "Yes, I do," and I want.
You're like, "I want Herbie." That's so funny.
Yeah, so like that's what I think of when I see like NASCAR racing or anything like that because it's like, yo, you just got you got beat by a Volkswagen in a movie. Would that be realistic? Absolutely not.
No.
That's great. I love it.
See, we have girly minds at some points, but we know our shit.
Oh man. Oh my God.
Is there any, like, let's say, any news that you heard about that you want to bitch about? Because I could bitch about a lot of things.
I mean, we can always. I don't want to like continue to bring up hockey, but I still think that the Marner to Vegas trade is kind of.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Everyone is talking about it, and like, I need to bitch about it because the fan base has been so divided. Like, I was telling Lauren that I saw Mitch's Instagram post about him like blaming himself for Toronto not bringing home a cup, blah blah blah, and he's like, I always tried my best, but I guess that wasn't enough. And there were some fans in the comments who were like, oh, like we love you, Mitch, blah blah blah. And then I saw one comment that was like, you call that like a playoff performance? I play better than that, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that, like, he is still getting like bullied by these fans. And I'm like, you're not supposed to do that to these people because like they're already being tough on themselves and all that.
But that's why fans really need to shut the fuck up at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like
they need to check themselves, to be honest with you.
Fans now, they remind me of when I used to coach 8th grade basketball, where the parents just be so overbearing and so critical to their kids. That's what I think of. That's what I think of. Like, these guys are professional athletes. You guys are just spectators. What do you know?
They really do their best. They try. I mean, you're always going to have players who, you know, struggle to show up in the postseason or have a bad postseason or whatever it is. And whether or not that was Mitch, like, he did the best that he could. And realistically, with the amount of shit that Toronto did and how much they jerked him around all the time, I'm not surprised that he kind of like dragged his feet a little, even if it wasn't intentional. Sometimes it's really, really hard to perform at your best when you have all of that going on in the back of your mind. And you don't even realize that it's affecting you or that it's bothering you. So like, what do they want from him? Do they want him to be like a little fucking fairy? Like,
be like,
he can only do so much. He's one person, and the entire team, there's an entire team that didn't help him bring home a cup. It was not just him, and it was not just Matthews, and it was not just Nylander. They all needed to work together, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's not just Mitch's fault.
I'm muted myself. You're gonna see me try to stop Jet from eating this toy because it does not look good.
I was gonna say, I still think that the worst part is that he has been a Toronto fan since he was a kid. And so like when he got drafted by Toronto, it was like, oh my gosh, this is like a dream come true. And so like he was so excited to play for this team. And then throughout the years, you could see like by the end of it, he had like lost his love for that team. Like he was like,
he loves to wear the maple leaf and play for Canada. Like, I know he's from there and he loves it, but at the same time he was like, I am just over it. Like, I've reached a point where I am done, because it is becoming, for lack of a better word, like a toxic work environment for him specifically. Not that the Maple Leafs locker room is toxic or that, you know, anything like that. It was just for him specifically. They dicked him around so much that he was stuck in an environment where it really sucked for him to be able to perform his best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So best of luck to him in Vegas.
And his baby's so cute.
Yes. I saw a little video
of little baby.
Like, he's just like, oh, and I'm like, I keep forgetting that like him
changing his number had me like shook.
Yeah.
Though.
I'm like, is there somebody on Vegas already that's number 16 or?
I don't know if he used to wear 93 and that's why he switched to it.
From what I saw when he played for the London Knights, he was number 93, and I'm wondering if that's kind of like, he's like, oh, like, gonna be a Knight again. Let me go back to number 93. But it makes you kind of think like he wore the number 16 for so long that you would think he'd become like emotionally attached to it, but
one would think. Oh, you know what? 93 was retired by the Maple Leafs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder what would make him choose 16 out of all of them then.
So he couldn't wear 93, so he went with I guess he went with 16.
Shit. Well, I'm trying to like see if there's any like math correlation there that's like, oh, like 9 times 3, but that's definitely not it.
Nope.
I was like, that is a completely different number than 16.
Well, that was like
He said
when
that
I went.
he didn't really pick it. It was just a given. It just had it given. He had a couple options, and 16 was the best one.
Okay.
But that was
then
like
he's going back to 93 with the Knights because that is like his number.
Well, that's
that was
cool.
like when I was in college and I joined. My coach was like, "All right, what jersey you want?" I was like, 40. She's like, "Okay, but 40's taken. Oh no, we don't have 40." I was like, "Okay, what about 4? Because take away the 0. That's my softball number. 4. Oh, 4 is being worn already. Okay." He's like, "I have an idea. How about 31?" I go,
3
"That's
plus 1.
the most." Yes, he goes 3 plus 1 is 4, and I was like, "Okay, and there we go. That's my college number, and that's the number
So
that is."
that's what I
tattooed on
did.
me in 3 different ways.
That's what I did for my travel team because when I played in high school, my best high school season, I wore the number 9, and 9 is also like my birthday, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start wearing like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went to travel the following year, we had got New Jersey, so we got to get new numbers and everything, but they wanted us to have so that the refs could do the easy like foul calls, they wanted it to be on one hand, right? And I was like, okay, how do I make this work? And that's how I ended up with 54 because 5 and 4 is 9. And then like I was born in May, so having the first number be 5, it like made it all like made sense. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. Good job, Mom. Because my mom came up with it. She was like, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, no, and then like I was sitting there, and when I was filling out like the questionnaire so they can do like my roster bio, they were like, "All right, like who's your favorite player?" And I go, "Mike Piazza," just because I'm a baseball fan. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, "Oh, Mike Piazza's also 31," and I didn't realize it until after the fact, and I was like, "It's meant to be. It's meant to be."
I love that for you. That's awesome.
But it's like my fiance, when he chose Matt's like numbers are 19 and 28. I go, why? Why? Like your birthday's 8. Where does the 1928 come from? He goes, I don't know. I chose them. I go, why?
Mine are 9 and 13. So or like 54 because it makes 9, but
I like I like hearing people's like reason why they chose their numbers. Some people are just like, just because I like the number. Or people will be like, oh, it's like a family thing. And I love that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was actually really funny.
Yeah.
I love that. Cool. I feel like we don't really have a lot to bitch about then. Although Sam said she had quite a bit.
Yeah, because the Jets decided to come out and say, oh, we're not rebuilding. We're focused on winning. I go, with what?
And you're going to do that with your current roster?
We had Aaron Rodgers. We have a future Hall of Famer and a former Super Bowl winner, and we did nothing with him.
Yeah.
We even brought in his offensive line coach for the Packers, and he still did nothing.
Oh my god. I got something to bitch about. This just made me think of that because you were talking about players. Why did the Devils not re-sign Curtis Lazar yet?
That is a good question. I'm wondering if it's because like he's still technically injured from what I've seen like the reporters saying. And so maybe they're just like trying to get the more like the players that are
things out of the way.
Play. Yeah. Like everyone's
but like Curtis Lazar is like my emotional support third and fourth liner. Yeah. So like ink to paper, Fitz, ink to paper.
Get it done. Get it done. Now that you've sent qualifying offers to players, let's get these contracts.
Yeah, let's get going.
Lauren is gonna be on edge for the next couple of weeks. I mean,
I'm like, fine. I am at peace right now. I have nothing to worry about.
Like, realistically, like my favorite, Nico's all good, so we're good there. Like, I don't really need to stress yet. Once his contract comes up, then I need to stress. But like, for now, it's fine. I'm just sad because I'm like, oh, I liked him. And I already lost my emotional support fourth liner from Detroit. He went to Chicago and then got traded to, I think just got traded to Seattle and then put on waivers maybe. So I was like, what the hell? So, Can I at least have one of them? No? Okay. Great.
Like, please, sir. Can
Please,
I have some scraps?
please.
I can't. But so then the next one I have to bitch. Shit, I lost my train of thought. I got it. Sorry. I'm on. So this is also like a Mets thing. I feel like a Mets fandom thing. When we shit the bed in June, people are posting like, you know how like the end of the season people post like, oh, thank you fans, or thank you this. Like a lot, I think other teams do that besides the Mets. They posted it. Someone posted like a parody one, and it was like, all right, see you in spring training. I go, no one gives a shit what you do in June. I'm sorry. I know like you guys aren't like big baseball people.
Yeah.
But like,
because isn't it still so early in the season?
Yes.
Why are we tweeting that already?
Yes. It is very early. Not very early, but like this is like the end of like the first half of the season, if that makes sense.
Like playoffs don't start until October, don't they?
Pretty much, yeah. Like the wild card and stuff like that. Yeah. Like
you guys got time. Relax, people.
So that's what pisses me off about the fandom. Like mentioning back before, like I hate fucking fans these days.
Mm-hmm.
Stop
fans
jumping the gun on negativity.
They're keyboard warriors and think that like they know all, and it's like, no, you're actually dumb and you're actually stupid, and you couldn't do it better than they do. That's the reason they get paid the millions and millions of dollars to do what they do, and you sit on the couch and watch them.
Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am in a miserable fandom. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Rangers fan, and I don't even know what I am.
Yeah, you literally picked picked like the worst teams. Dude.
Disappointment is in my name, literally.
Yeah.
But you don't see me going on social media saying, "All right, guys, see you next year." No, you have to remain optimistic.
Yeah.
You remain optimistic until the last possible moment, you know?
Yeah.
If there comes a point where we literally shit the bed and we go last in our division, then I'm like, okay, see you next year. But just because we went from 1 to 2 is not making a break.
All you did was drop 1, and they're like acting like it's the end of the world. There's no way.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
What are you ever gonna do?
I don't know. Well, there's people in the Devils fandom that do that too. The Devils have like 1 or 2 bad games, or they go on like a couple game losing streak, and then they're like, "Oh my god, the world is ending! Like we are on."
Like, the Devils are
never
gonna win a game ever again. And I'm
we're never winning a cup. We're never winning again. We should just like sell the whole roster, like start again. I'm like, you guys need to take a deep breath. Like, you guys are acting so overdramatic for no reason.
I will say, though, when the Jets were basically saying to Woody Johnson, sell the fucking team, I agree. Because, no, the Jets have not had a good season. I think, what was the last time Matt said he has never witnessed a Jets Super Bowl in his entire life? Because they won Super Bowl 2 or 3. That's the last time. Yeah.
Aren't they on like 50-ish?
I think so.
56 or something.
Damn.
So that's like, I've never witnessed a Super Bowl, and I'm never going to experience it. And they all blame it on Woody Johnson, but Matt also blames it on like a former player. And he's like, this guy needs to fucking die because he put a curse on the team. I go, that's interesting.
Wow.
I don't know the name of it. Yeah. So if we ever need a football episode, and we ever need someone,
and we're at Super Bowl 60.
Yeah. If we
Next
ever
year's
need
will be 60.
If we ever need someone to bitch about football, I will gladly bring on Matthew. He would sit here and shit.
Let's do it. Right before football starts, we should do a football. When we do our football episode, we should have Matt on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be like, we request your presence.
Yeah.
Do it. Your presence is requested. Because I'm not kidding. He can tell, like, I'm not like the football guru. Like, my school has football. I know the stats. I know how to do the stats. The yards are very confusing at some points because you're rushing to say you're like 51. No, there's no 51. That's 49. So it's one of those things. But when it comes to, let's say, the play calls, he goes, all right, they're going to throw it left, or they're going to say like right down the middle, or whatever he fucking says. They do it. A flag gets pulled up. Oh, that's holding. Oh, whatever the fuck it is. Whatever flags are else are there. And I'm looking at him like, it didn't even happen yet. I go, what are you talking about? And like, it will be watching TV. The flag happens off screen, but you just see a flag fly into the middle of the whatever the screen. He goes, no, it was probably a legal man down the field. I go, what?
He knows his shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary. I see. I'm just
like football IQ, where he knows what's happening before it even happens.
It's scary. I don't get it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can bitch about it all the time.
Let's wrap it up. That's a wrap on this round of Headline Hustle, where the drama's nonstop and our patience is hanging on by a thread. Thanks for letting us get a few things off our chest. We feel slightly better now.
Not really.
Don't worry. Not me either, but it's fine. I'll feel better when Fitz ink to paper with Curtis Lazar. Don't worry, though. We'll be back with more headlines, more chaos, and definitely more bitching soon. Stay petty and stay tuned. Don't forget to follow us on all socials, and rate us wherever you want. I don't know, wherever you get your podcasts.
Woo!
Until next time.
Friends.